welcome to the latest installment of History Through Games. Joining me today is Karen Ross and, as always, Scout Blum. The reason for this program and what we're doing here, and we're going to talk a little bit, we're going to play a game here, and we're going to play Pandemic this time. The reason for this is because Scout teaches a class in which teaches history through board games. And we're going to learn a little bit about this game and how it works with your class in a little bit.
Absolutely.
But first, we're going to move over here to Karen for a second and kind of talk about what you're bringing to the gaming table this time. You are a history professor, but you focus on science and medicine, correct?
Right. So I teach several history of medicine classes, history of infectious disease, gender health and history, and bioethics.
And so hopefully we'll get a little bit of this scientific information and medical information from you as we play through the game here. But you've played the game before, and how would you say that the game, as we learn more later from Scout, ties into what you teach in your classes?
That's a good question. Yes. Well, part of it, I think, is the international nature of disease and health, especially public health. This is a really good illustration of how these diseases move from place to place, and all the more now with the globalization. So I think that's a big part of it. I think also the, I don't want to say randomness, but the unexpected nature of events. You can't control for all variables, and suddenly someone's chickens get loose, and then there's this other problem, or there's a breakdown at a bridge and a flood, and there's a whole new second disease added to a first one, et cetera. So I mean, the unpredictability, I think, is a really good example.
And history's had its fair share of pandemics and outbreaks, and I mean, you go all the way back to the Black Plague, various other diseases throughout time, all the way up to the modern era in which we dealt with it. And of course, I've learned something just in meeting the two of you here today, in that how this would apply to a history class. And we've talked before, Scout, when we've had you on in the shows that we've done in the past, that we've talked about and played some games, and interesting ways they've made connections. But this is something that I would not have immediately assumed is something that would go to a history class and something like this. So.
This game is interesting to me because it has a lot of applications to class in different ways, to history. And we'll talk more about this later, but one of the things that I introduced to them as we're talking about this, and this is normally the last game that we play, it's the idea of globalization and how the world is a much smaller place now. And so we'll talk about different ways that the world is more interconnected. But we also talk about that historically. So we'll talk about the Crusades, and we'll talk about the trade with Asia, and we'll talk about colonization and exploration. We'll talk about the triangular trade, and and especially other instances of disease, like you mentioned the Black Plague. But specifically, I focus, since I'm an Americanist, focus a little bit more on Columbus and the Europeans coming over and how it affected Native Americans, that kind of level of disease transmission and what that does. So we use it as a way to talk about current issues of globalization, but also see how globalization looked in the past as well, and how it's changed, certainly.
The main thing, of course, is the speed with which it's changing, just how even small places are interconnected now, right?
Yeah, and with travel and it being faster and easier than it ever has been in some situations, you run that risk of someone who picked something up in Riyadh here, making a quick trip to Montreal, and then all of a sudden it's spread over two continents. So, now let's talk a little bit about the game, Scout. This is probably a little bit different than most people are used to for a game, because it's a cooperative game. We're not going to be competing against each other. We're competing against the diseases on this board. So give us a little bit of background on Pandemic and explain a little about the game itself.
Okay, so Pandemic is a really popular game. It's one that's been out for a little while. It's a really good starter game for one of these more modern games if you haven't really used or played some of these before. It's a lot of fun, and it's easy to pick up. There's a lot going on, but once you play with it, it's easy to start. It is a cooperative game, which makes it really cool. All the players are working together. It's also a role-playing game. Everybody has...
Yeah, there you go. We can show them out here. We can show
Everybody has little roll cards, and you basically have what Karen and I like to refer to as superpowers when you're playing. So you have sort of special abilities that can help affect. So it is a cooperative game. It's a role-playing game. It's also a game that is really, really easy to lose. There are about 20 different ways to lose it. On the board here, there's an outbreak marker. We'll talk about that in a minute, but if you get to 8 outbreaks, which is easier than it sounds, then you lose. If you run out of putting disease cubes on the cities, then you lose. If you run out of player cards, then you lose. So it's a game that's very hard to win, but it's also
one way to
fun.
win.
Yes, one way to win,
here.
you cure the disease.
Cure the diseases. And you don't have to eradicate the disease from the planet, right? You just have to find the cure from there.
So in the game, there's some terminology that's sometimes a little confusing. When you, to cure a disease, we'll do this as we go through the play, one player has to discard 5 cards of the same color. We'll show you those in a second. To eradicate a disease, you have to have cured it and removed all of the cubes.
All the cubes from there. So
let me say, too, we're playing not just with the regular version of Pandemic, but we're playing with 3 different expansions. We're playing with the Quarantine expansion, which is these little markers right here, and they can help us if there's a lot of disease. Oh, by the way, so these little cubes on the board, these indicate the outbreak of disease. The more cubes there are, the more disease there is. The maximum number of cubes that they can have is 3. If you get to 4, then there's an outbreak. And
it spreads out to the
bad things can happen. So the quarantines can help contain disease. So that's one that we're playing with. We're also playing with something called the emergency events. So we have cards in the player deck, which is down here at the bottom of the board. The player deck tells us what to do. It sort of gives us instructions for what to do. And there are emergency events in there that can alter the rules rather significantly.
Right.
And then this is the infection deck, which just shows us what cities are infected. And we'll go through that again in a minute. So we've got the quarantine, we've got the emergency event, but then we also have the Hinterlands expansion that we're playing, which is really cool. I'm an environmental historian by training, and so one of the things that this does, which is really neat, is it shows the impact that rural areas can also have on cities. So the original version of the game just has big metropolitan areas across the globe, but what the Hinterlands does is it also shows you, hey, if there's something happening in the countryside, like Karen said, with chickens getting loose or something, then in fact we have chicken disease over there. But if there's something happening in the Hinterlands, that can have a widespread effect too. So right now we've got the game, like Aaron said, we've got the game set up to where you would start, because it kind of takes
There's a process to establish this, and we skipped over that before we started the show to kind of cut about 20 minutes out of this whole process. So, and we've already got all our roles, and let's see, we'll go through it. You are the scientist.
I am the scientist, so my special power is, normally you need 5 cards of the same color. We can talk about those in a second. You need 5 cards of the same color to discover a cure. I just need 4.
All right.
So it's a little easier for me to discover a cure.
And I am a medic, and what I can do is I remove all the cubes of one color when I treat a disease. So when I land on a place, I can remove all the cubes from that particular city. But then when we find the cure for a disease, if I walk through a city, I automatically remove without using a turn.
Yes.
So, and we'll talk about turns a little bit here. So I'm magic in that once we find a cure, I can just walk through and I clear out any disease in that area without using one of my 4 turns.
And Karen is?
I am the veterinarian. This is part of the Hinterlands, right?
Yes.
Expansion. The veterinarian can use his powers in the Hinterlands mostly. It says at a research station I can move to any Hinterlands, so make travel easier. And then in Hinterlands I can remove 2 cubes of an uncured disease when you treat disease in step 1. So that helps, but only in the Hinterland space.
So another thing that we start off with are these city cards. So everybody, and it depends on the number of players you have. We have 3 here, so everybody gets 3 cards. These are from the player deck, but they're basically just cards that have the city on them. And what these cards can do is they can give you sort of powers to do things in certain places, or they can be used like almost airline tickets or something like that. So I have Cairo, which is a black card, Chicago, which is a blue card, and Khartoum, which is a yellow card, and the colors correspond to different regions of the globe. So Aaron, what do you have?
I have Los Angeles, Mumbai, and Shanghai.
All righty.
I have Karachi, Kolkata, and Bangkok.
So it looks like we've got enough black cards. So if we wanted to do,
So we want to get those to you.
Yeah.
yes,
We could cure right off the bat if we wanted
Yes.
to on that one. So if we get them to you, and explain a little bit. We'll explain the mechanic. Each of us has 4 actions that we can do on each of our
Correct.
turns,
When-
and it can be and explain kind of those actions real quick to the folks at home. there,
Okay,
so.
so you have actions that you can do each turn instead of just, normally you think of with a board game, you do one thing and then you're done. With these more recent board games, a lot of them have different, you have like 4 different things that you can do. Or 3 or something.
Yes.
With Pandemic, you've got 4. So one of them is you can move. I mean, you can physically move somewhere, so it's almost like a board. So you've got 4 things. You can do as many of one as you want. So someone could move just by the little dots on the board
The
that are
little
connected.
connected.
1, 2, 3, 4. So you could move. That's called driving or ferrying if you're just going to go bit by bit. You can also, so they've got a little cheat sheet here, you can do a direct flight. Or a charter flight, and that involves sort of, like say if I wanted to go to Cairo, I could discard my Cairo card and then go to Cairo. And so you can move around in different ways using your cards. You can also treat disease. So that means that you can go somewhere and then treat disease. One turn would be removing 1 cube.
Unless you're me.
Unless you're you.
Unless you're me.
Unless
Unless
you're
you're the
special.
medic. I'm Spedic.
Is that
Special.
just cured?
You can also...
I could just pull all the cubes from one
Right,
color.
when you get there.
Yes.
And then also you can share knowledge, and what that means is you would trade the cards. So if we're in the same city together, any 2 of us, or if we're in the same city, we can share cards of the color, or of that city rather. If you are in the Hinterlands, then you can share cards of any color. So the Hinterlands makes it easier to share cards. You don't have to be in the same city with that card. And then you can also discover a cure.
All right.
That can be one of your turns too.
Okay.
Since we're playing with these expansions, there's also you can impose a quarantine. That can be one of your turns as well.
So I'm sorry, can I clarify real quick? So if we were both in Bangkok, I could give you the Bangkok
Yes.
card.
Yes.
But not, say, if I had that one, the Shanghai card.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
And, but if both of us were in the red Hinterlands, then you could give me any red card.
Okay.
All right. So we'll get some more explanation as we get started.
Yes.
So how about how do we get started? Who goes first?
Well, there are different ways of
Okay.
determining who goes first.
All right.
So on Will Wheaton's tabletop show, they were talking about who has the worst disease or the most recent disease or something like that. You can also just be cooperative and just pick who wants to go.
Well, how about this? How about we let Scout go first?
Oh,
So-
wow.
Since she's
We can
the
let our
the
guests
expert
go
over there.
first.
Never mind, Scout. Your choice. The guest
Veterinarian
goes first.
choice.
The veterinarian.
Okay.
Let's go with that. So
right.
now you've got 4 actions. So let's get started. Let's
Okay.
play this game.
So we start with our actions, not with cards or anything else.
Correct.
Okay.
So Karen's the veterinarian, so she's the little brown person
Okay.
here.
And so I want to, since we do have for one goal might be, rather than spend these to get to these places, I probably want to hang on to them to give them to you, right?
Yes.
Or to collect 5.
Yes.
Okay. So I could.
Now, what we also, though, I think should notice is we've got 2
Yeah,
cities
that's
right
not
next
good.
to each other, which are...
that could explode into a
Easily,
nice little
yeah.
outbreak right there. So.
Now,
Okay.
also
And we're
from...
starting in CDC, right?
We are starting in Atlanta
Okay.
at the CDC.
Okay.
All right.
So, and also, if you see these little candy-looking markers, these represent places where you can travel to and from the Hinterlands.
Okay.
So, if Karen wanted to, she could go from Atlanta to the Hinterlands, and then she can go anywhere from the Hinterlands, so she could get to London. And that's a faster way to get somewhere, I guess.
Okay. So does Atlanta, or I guess I could go to Chicago and then the Hinterland.
Well, no, Atlanta's
Atlanta's
you might
one.
not be able to see
does.
it.
Yeah,
It's-
we've got
okay.
one there. So
it's
you can go to
behind
the
it.
Hinterland from there.
But there's
so.
also a disease in Atlanta.
Right.
So
Okay,
I don't
so
know
I
if you
got
want
to
to
cure that.
excuse me, treat the disease.
Treat.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Now,
not cure.
real quick, answer this question for me. The cards. Now, we can only give the color cards if we're in that city, or
Correct.
okay. So
Unless you're in the Hinterland.
unless you're in the Hinterlands. So,
Which is-
so if there was an option, now let me say this: so if she goes to the Hinterlands with her 2 black cards, and you decide to follow along with her in the Hinterlands, she could hand her 2 black cards to you in the Hinterlands and make that process a little bit easier.
Yes.
Okay. So in a way, if she does some actions and then ends up in the Hinterlands, and then you follow suit after your actions,
Ends up in the Hinterlands.
we're 3 away, and then we can get a little bit closer. And then you said we can go from there to anywhere else. So
Yes.
all right, so that worked. So we could very easily, if you play your cards right, literally, you could we could end up curing the black disease pretty quick here. So.
Okay. And so,
Well, you might think.
you
might think that's what I'm not saying,
yeah.
but I'm just saying.
Also, as a veterinarian, I can go from any research station directly to a hinterland.
Yes.
So for me, it's
Oh, that's right. So you can just go one.
Yeah.
right. Yeah. So from any research, so we want to probably also build a few research stations as we go. They're
do that as
really,
well, so.
really helpful.
But Karen, why
Do you want me to
don't
hit the blue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do
okay.
the blue because otherwise that's going to be a problem.
But remember that when I go through there, I can pick all 3 of those up off of those
right.
places.
Is that
So-
when it's cured or just any time?
No, I can if I land on it, one of my actions is I can remove all of the
he doesn't,
cubes.
he
I don't-
doesn't
need
just
to
have
go
to do
there.
it. He just
All right.
he does
Everyone
not have
else
to do it
only
once.
gets 1.
Yeah.
so.
Okay.
He can do it all at once, not.
All right. So one of the things I like about this game is that it's not only cooperative, but you can get advice. So I'm
Yes.
thinking that if I go to, we don't want an outbreak right away. If I went to Hinterlands, and then from there to London, so that'd be 1, 2, just pick up 1, 3, and then how do you build research stations?
You have to have the card
Oh,
Yeah, okay.
for that city.
all right.
Do you want me to move you?
Yeah, would you do that? So
Yes.
let's just do that. Okay, so
Do you want to cure this or no?
how many are there?
There's
One.
on Atlanta right now. So
Yeah, go ahead and do that, and then that'll be 4 altogether. So
That'll
that's
be one.
and then move me to Hinterland, and then from there to London.
now, real quick, answer this for me real quick with 3. Is this always staying there? Is there? Can you cure
We can
that,
cure
or is that
that.
always?
Oh no, you can cure it.
Okay. And so I shouldn't.
It
the
might
Hinterlands.
get added to as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
So, but I didn't know if that would be a step in those
It
things
could
as
be.
well. So
It could be, and that's what we'll do with the dice. So,
Okay.
and then I'll take one of these. So I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that's it for my.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
4. Okay.
All right.
So
Okay, now-
once Karen's 4 things are done, then there are several other things that you have to do. So the first thing is we're going to roll this dice. This is the Hinterland die, and we're just going to roll it, and it comes up blank.
All right.
Yay!
I don't know what it means, but I think it's good. So.
If it would have come up with one of the colors of the Hinterlands, then you add another cube to the Hinterlands, which just means the disease in the Hinterlands is getting worse and worse. So we've done that, so that's okay.
Okay.
Then Karen is going to draw 2 player cards.
And that's because we're
And
here,
just-
right?
No, that's just because you draw 2 cards.
Okay. Oops.
That indicates something else.
Oh, look at this. All
Okay,
right, so
so-
I've got Riyadh and Shania.
Ooh, wow, 2 more
I'm doing
black
good.
cards.
2 more
So now
blacks.
someone could give me
Yeah,
a black
give
card.
you
That's
a
lot
card.
faster. Okay. And
Yeah, I mean, if we want to go, Karen, I've got Cairo, so,
so if you just give me,
well, but then I would get rid of Cairo if I went there. Okay, anyway, so she gets 2 more cards. The maximum number of cards that you can have in your hand is 7. So Karen has 5 now, so she's
All right.
fine. All right, and then you're going to draw 2 more infection cards to show us where disease is going. 2 because that's what the infection rate is. So Kolkata is going to get 1.
All right.
and Miami.
Miami. So Kolkata right here. I can get that.
I can't
Okay,
see
there
that
you
real
go.
well.
And then Miami. There we go.
And I discard these.
And those go
Those
right
go
here
in
on the
that
pile
pile.
right there. So. All right.
All right.
And so now Scout,
All right, very good.
our scientist.
Our scientist. Now, remember, I just need 4 cards. So we want me to try to get to the black. Does that sound reasonable?
Okay.
Okay. So, let's see. So I can go, where should I go? How,
Research stations.
Well, I'll say
You
you
can
got.
go to
should I go to
Khartoum would take you to here, which takes you 1 from Cairo.
Well, I need to get to one of these to get
Right.
to the little candy looking ones. They
Okay.
look like sprees to me, to get them to the...
Well, but hold on a second. If you go to Khartoum and you're in Cairo, you could put a research station in Cairo for your 4. Because you go either you go to Khartoum on your direct flight. You can get rid of your card, do that, and you're in Cairo, and then build the research station in Cairo.
And he can get
Or
in
you
Mumbai. He can
And
get in Mumbai,
also,
so-
Karen has the 4 black cards, so if I just go wait in the Hinterlands for her, she
Yeah.
can. Okay, so I will go. I'm the white.
You're white.
What is also kind of neat about this is the gender with the cards. The scientist is a woman, you know, so it's not, you know, biased toward, there's a good dose of gender equality here. Anyway, okay, so off we go. I'm going to go, let's see, so I'm going to go to turn in my card, and that gives me a direct flight to Khartoum. I'm going to stay there, and then that's 1, and then I'm going to do Cairo, that's 2. And I'm going to build a research station in Cairo. These help us move around easier. And then I'm going to go, why don't I go to Istanbul and get ready to take some disease? Well, or maybe I should start heading this way.
Yeah, head towards the buttons.
Oh my God, that's me.
To the
And then,
hinterland.
all right, so now I need to take 2 cards. Moscow, which is one of the black, and Lima, which is one of the yellow.
All right.
And now,
Oh, we didn't roll the die.
oh, I'm sorry, oops, sorry, I forgot.
Oh, we're still good in the hinterlands. So.
Yay!
We loaded
That's what
that
we got.
before the game
Yes.
started,
So-
so we.
Chennai.
I will
dear.
take care of that.
Thank you, sir.
Chennai.
And then the next one is
Khartoum.
which is where I just was.
All right.
Okay.
All right, and so that is
All right,
the
Aaron,
end
it
of
is
that.
your
It's my
turn.
turn. So here at my point, so I've got Mumbai, Los Angeles. All right, so the goal is now I can make a trip through here pretty quick by going through the hinterlands. Like so,
Yes.
so if we wanted to eliminate those two right there quick, I could make 1 turn, 2 turns, 3 turns. Is that correct?
Well, your movement would be 1,
Yeah,
and
1
then
turn.
collecting the disease would be 1. So
Yes.
you could go
1,
1, 2,
2,
3, and then 4.
4, yeah.
You couldn't take the disease.
I couldn't
yet.
take the disease from there. So,
Right.
but
that would be good.
But we could get me closer to eliminating
Yes.
that disease. So as of right now, since I don't have much else I can contribute, I can go to, all right, I'll go here for 1 turn, and then I'm going to come to London for 2 turns, correct? And then I can eliminate
That's
the
3.
disease for 3 turns, and then is there any? Now I can't. If I'm on the same as her, can I give her a card here, or do I have to be on the city where that card is?
You must be in the city where that
card is, okay.
Unless your power is something.
And something that
different.
so the best bet for me is to go ahead and move to Essen so that I can get rid of that for the next
Treat,
turn.
yes.
Treat. That's the
Okay.
proper term. Thank you. So, all right. So I'm
Well,
going to hang
I
out.
mean, treat, cure, and eradicate to me get a little
yeah,
confusing.
a little
sometimes.
confusing on some of those. So, all right.
All
So
right, so
that's me.
then-
So, all right. So now we got to roll.
Roll the dice.
All right. And of course,
Oh.
I get the chicken. So we're going to put the chicken there,
Very good.
there. And so now we're going to draw 2 cards. And my 2 cards are Baghdad and Miami.
Cool.
So, and that leaves me, I'm still with 5 cards. And now let's see where we are going to go. Beijing is going to get 1. And it's the red is relatively disease free.
Don't say that. Do not say that.
And Osaka gets 1 right there. So, all right. So,
All right.
knock on wood, that doesn't happen
All right,
anymore.
Karen,
so.
off we go.
Okay. And and I'll just have to say, this is part of what we've talked about before, and just a minute ago about how what's realistic about the game, what isn't. One of the things is the fact that we're traveling so freely and building research stations, and now she can instantly go to Lima and Moscow without any political interference or permission or
Yes.
visa or anything else. So it's part of it's part of the
Which would be pretty much impossible to do in the
right
modern
Yeah.
environment.
But
So,
as we
yes.
see some of the cards that come, we'll shake that up. But all right, so I am here. I'm in London, and I want to.
You want to get to a black
I
area.
really do want to get to a black area. So if I go, London's as far as over here as I can get. Okay,
Karen,
so
you could also get rid
Sure,
of one of
one
your
there.
black cards because I have 1. So even if you get
I
rid
need
of
5 though, right?
well, yeah, but you're going to give them to me.
Oh, okay.
I just need 4.
And I can give all them at once to you. I don't give like one
Do you
per
really?
action.
I think that might be 1 per action
Okay.
because it's a shared knowledge. I think is
Right. Is an
But you
action.
can do it 3 times. But I think it counts. Each
3
one counts
turns
as
or
an
3 actions. Okay.
Correct.
So why
action.
don't
So you need to just get there.
Okay. And if I get to a research, no, that's not a research station. Blah 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 blah. All right.
Which cities do you have?
I have Bangkok. Where is Bangkok? Okay, Bangkok's there.
So
I
you
have
could do-
Kolkata, Karachi, Riyadh, and
Do
Chennai.
Kolkata.
Do
Because then you
Kolkata.
can go from here to Kolkata.
That's 1.
And then maybe treat that disease and then go
2,
there and treat that
3,
disease.
and then 4. Okay, let's do that. So from here to Kolkata.
Okay, give me your Kolkata card, because that's your
I'll
airline
just
ticket.
do
Yes,
that, right?
yes.
Okay. I'm going to treat that one, so that's 2
All right.
actions. Thank you. And from there, I can go straight to here. That's
Yes.
3
3 and then-
actions and 4 actions.
But you're the vet, so you can take both of them.
Oh,
Yes.
that's right.
You
I
can
get
take
2.
both
Thank
of
you.
them out of there. So.
Woo-hoo. There we go.
All right.
And now I'll wait.
All right. We're not waiting. You
yes.
got-
Yeah,
just
you
a-
gotta roll the dice.
Come on, blank. Right, there's too much stuff.
Yes.
There we go.
Oh.
Cow.
We got a cow. Moo.
And there we go. So this is part of the other expansion.
Well, actually, those are normal
is this a
cards.
normal one?
They're,
Okay.
they're in the normal
Which
thing.
is this?
So these are the event,
event.
cards.
All right.
So there are also emergency event cards, which are different.
Oh, this is not a bad one. Okay.
No.
Some
Plan
of those
anytime.
are good.
Okay, so forecast. Draw, look at, and rearrange the top 6 cards of the infection deck.
Which is this one.
Put them back on top. And so I can do that at some point. I don't have to do that right now.
No.
And it's not an action, so I can do
Correct.
this even if like we're about to have something. I can go take a peek.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll hold that for right now. But that needs to be done.
There's value in that, and we'll see that in a minute.
Yes.
Once
All right.
we start
And then your next
hitting.
card?
Second card is.
Oh, it's an epidemic.
All right, so now we have our first epidemic.
All right.
So when you have your epidemic, there are several steps that you have to take, and the first thing, as Erin was just pointing to, you have to move up the infection
Move this right
rate.
here.
All right.
So ultimately, that's going to affect how many cities we have that we're taking to infect after each turn. We've
And the
just been
first
doing
3 of
2.
them are 2.
Right.
So if
So
you
it-
can't
it-
see from the shot, the first 3 are 2, then it moves up to 3, and then 4 ultimately at the end
Once
of
you
the
get to
infection
that
rate.
point,
So
You're
just
really in
Yes.
trouble.
gone.
So increase, move the infection rate marker forward 1 space. Second, infect. Draw the bottom card from the infection deck. Do you want to?
all right, I will take care of
Bottom
this.
card from the infection deck. Put 3 cubes on that city and
Lagos.
discard. Oh, I'm sorry.
Lagos. All right, sorry. 1,
So
2,
3
3.
in Lagos. Ay, ay, ay.
Yeah, it's right here.
And then intensify.
Okay, yellow looks horrible.
So
Yes.
you can now
Oh, yeah,
put that
put that
discard
there.
and then intensify. Shuffle the cards in the infection discard pile and put them on top of
This
the
is-
infection deck. This is
this
the
is-
trouble.
So these that we've just infected now are immediately
Ready for
reinfectable.
yes,
yes.
yes.
Reinfection.
And they're
so
going to be reinfected.
Yes.
because we're going to pick those
We're
each
gonna draw
time.
those.
This
cards,
to me
so-
is the neatest mechanism of the game. I mean, it's just very cool.
And
Yes.
this is where the unexpected and the problems that
just
you
when
think
you
you've
think
done
you've gotten it
something.
taken care
Yeah,
of,
yeah.
because potentially what happens next is that if someone picks Lagos, there's the next card.
And we have
There's an outbreak, and then there's an
Mm-hmm.
outbreak, and then we go from 0 outbreak to potentially 3 in a matter of a draw of a single card.
Okay, so Karen has picked her 2
Oh, I
cards,
gotta do this
and now
now.
you have to do 2.
Okay, the first one is Mumbai.
All right.
Add 1 to Mumbai, so we're right on the cusp there.
Yes.
That makes 3.
That's 3.
Miami.
Miami.
Poor Miami.
Just
there we
2.
go.
All right. So
Alright.
so we're
okay.
relatively good right now.
But yellow is not looking good.
But Scout needs to get the scientist here.
Yellow is not looking good.
Yes.
Okay, Karen, are you done?
I am done.
I'm done. All right.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Oh,
I'm
I can-
attached
I
to my
can-
chair.
I can help you. All right. So what are you
Get up.
what are you gonna do?
Okay,
So-
Different part. That's a different
Gonna move-
expansion pack. Yeah.
All right, so, I'm
I'll
going to
move
go,
you
Yes.
go to
here.
1,
1,
and then, wait a minute.
2. No?
So if I go 1, 2, and maybe take 1 disease off,
Okay.
3,
That's a good idea.
And then there you go.
See that?
and then 4,
And then
or, was that 3?
do some more disease and then get there.
Well, you get 1, 2,
2,
3
3.
is your. Then
Oh,
that'll be your
yes,
4th is
4.
your move there.
There.
So
Or I could not do that and then just
cure
keep,
one more
oh, no,
and
leave
then
it.
go next, right?
No,
No, I'll come up before you.
because that was 1, 2, take a
3.
disease was 3, 4. So
Okay.
leave that.
Yeah.
all right. All right. So roll.
Oh. I keep
More cow.
Oh dear.
More cow.
And that'll
How's
go, okay, and that, if we have an outbreak there,
It
will
goes
cause
to-
one for London, which will cause another, and then, yeah.
Yeah. So if there's an if
Oh,
there's
that's
a,
not London, it's Essen.
if
Yeah.
there's a 4th cube that's added here,
Yeah.
it goes to all of the cities that it's connected to.
Yes.
So that would be Chicago for San Francisco, Atlanta, and London. And London we
Oh,
don't
this
have
is
any.
Essen, so
Yes.
we're okay.
So
All
we're
right.
good
Yeah.
there. So.
We're okay so far.
Okay, so I need 2 cards.
All right.
Karen, can you
I
grab
can
those?
do
so I
that.
can-
So yours are Jakarta.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah,
sorry, that's
yeah.
All right. It's not at all confusing. Paris.
Paris.
Yay, I would not mind going to Paris.
All right. So.
All right.
2.
Did you roll? We did.
All right.
We did roll.
Johannesburg.
Johannesburg.
All
Oh,
right.
sorry.
Oops, sorry.
I
That's
keep
good.
banging into you.
That's all right. And then we'll see what's next. Khartoum.
Khartoum, that's
All right. So
just 1. Okay.
So yellows.
All right, the yellows are kind of getting a little scary.
All right.
Yeah.
So comes to me.
Yes.
All right. So
Where are
we're
you?
looking
In
at.
Essen.
I'm in Essen. I can clear all of the ones out of Essen at this
Yes.
point. So I could do that for one of my turns.
That's a
but
good
then
idea.
what is the goal after that? So we're looking at. We probably want to get me to
yellow.
yellow as soon as possible. So
Yes. And then if I get to yellow, then we can cure that one as well.
Yeah.
Now, y'all don't forget about these quarantines that we have.
Yes.
Because you don't have to have the card of the city, you just have to be in the city
Okay.
to
So
do a
if
quarantine.
and any of us can use that.
Yes.
And so
Okay.
if he gets to Lagos, even if he can't take,
Well, Aaron-
if he got there, it'd be fine.
yeah, because
Yeah.
he's the medic,
Right,
so
right,
he
right,
can
right.
take all of those at once. But,
Okay. Okay.
All right, so where are we going? You're going to yellow, Aaron, right?
Yeah, so I need to make my way there. So I'm going to go ahead and clear all these out first. That's move one. We already established that. We need to make sure that we've got blue under control here. So, and so now, what is going to be
You
the
could go to the Hinterland. If you went to London, you go to the Hinterland and get that as well. But maybe
you could-
focus on yellow instead.
well, we could.
Well, but then he could go, next turn could be starting here, and then he could get to yellow a little faster.
well, I'm looking
Or
at.
he could use his card.
Well, I was looking at my card to see what the most, the closest one, and
Well, Shanghai. And remember, too,
Yeah.
one of the things also is like Los Angeles is connected to, is it Sydney over there?
yes. So.
You do have a round world here.
Okay, and then, yeah, we do have a round world, and but the looks of it, Baghdad is still going to be 2 steps away from any yellows. Mumbai is going to be 4 from the looks of things there. So it's
How about Shanghai if you go, where is Shanghai?
Shanghai is right here.
So then 1 to Tokyo, 2 back across to San Francisco, 3, 4?
Well, I have Los Angeles, so I could
okay,
go to
right.
Los
Or
Angeles
Miami,
or
for that
Miami.
matter.
But so that's true. You know what I should do? I should go to Miami.
I think that's
Yeah.
a good-
Because Miami's going to get me closer to the yellow. So that's going to be turn 2 is going to get me to Miami. So I'm going to take a direct flight to Miami, and then my next one I'm going to 3, and then 4. I'm going to make a trip to Colombia there. So
There we go.
All right, that's my trip. And then let's take a look at this.
Yay!
Look at that. Boom, boom.
Good job.
All right, so I'm going to draw 2
cards.
cards, and let's see. Well, first is
dear.
emergency
Okay.
event. Disease zones expand. Play immediately when drawn. Okay. Add 1 cube of every non-matching color to each city with different colored cubes.
Okay, so there are no cities with different colored cubes
There are
right
no.
now, so it's okay.
All right. So then
Because
that
we haven't
means
had any outbreaks.
so we're good. So
Yeah,
that was relatively
timing.
ineffective.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
good
So
timing.
good. I drew wisely.
You did very well.
All right, and then Kinshasa is
Okay.
my other. So I have another
Cool.
yellow
Another
right
yellow
there. So,
one. Very
so I'm good. So all right, so then
All
I
right.
am done. Oh wait, no, we're not.
To
We gotta
infect
do
2
to
cities.
infect 2 cities. So let's see. Buenos Aires.
Okay, that's
All right.
Okay, so that one has
that's
2 now.
And then let's see what is next.
Essen. Oh, you were just
I was just
there.
there. All right. All right, and that's my turn. So all right,
Okay.
Karen.
All right, Karen, off you go.
And so I am doing 1, 2, and 3 right there.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. And okay, that's it. So for 4, I can go to any of these, or I can fly to Bangkok. Where's Bangkok? Bangkok's there.
You could go to Bangkok, or you could eliminate. Well, we're about to cure that, though, aren't we? So
Rachi- Okay, so
Well, but we do want
We
to
do
get
want
the
to
get rid
cubes
of-
off the
yes, we
board
do.
because that means they're eradicated.
right.
so if you
How
go
about-
there,
yeah,
you
I'll
can.
get there, and I'll try. And we need to build a few more. Maybe in Bogota, we need a research station, but eventually. But okay, so I'm going to Mumbai and removing, and that's it, right?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Because you can just
Okay.
move.
All right.
Okay, roll the die. Yellow.
Monkey.
Oh, monkey.
Monkey. Oh dear.
Montreal.
Montreal.
That's good.
Good. Beijing.
Beijing.
Got a couple of
All right,
reds
so some
here.
reds.
That's not too terrible.
All right. So let's see what
And
it does.
Lima.
Lima.
One more for Lima.
glad I made my way to
gosh.
south.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Uh-oh, I have too many.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
So you got to you should have discarded when I
I
gave
should
you
have.
7, right?
So here, I'll just.
Yeah. Go ahead and
Discard
discard
now. Sorry.
Jakarta. Okay.
That's all right. And Sao Paulo.
Sao Paulo. So.
Brazil.
All right. So here's.
Outbreak.
So we have an outbreak. So
Okay.
now.
Okay.
Put a 4th one.
Yeah.
Okay, so now because there's an outbreak, this one has 3. Uh-oh.
All right. So
no.
Let's start simple and let's put 1 on Buenos Aires.
Okay, and then I'm going to move the outbreak marker up 1.
Okay.
So now
Okay.
Buenos Aires has 3.
And that's connected to Bogota. So
but Buenos Aires just has 3.
That just has 3.
We don't have to.
Right.
Oh,
No,
okay,
no, no.
I got
Yeah,
you.
yeah. All right. So
Wait, is there a rule about if disease can be placed where you are on your card?
I do no, it does not. It says there's nothing about that. So
Okay.
wait, no, but that's only prevent them from being placed there only after.
Cured.
Yeah, automatically removes
After
cubes
they're
and
cured,
prevent
okay.
them after cure.
Okay.
So all right, so
And then
there.
Madrid.
Madrid gets 1.
So now this
And
is
now
where,
we've got the multiples.
and then Lagos gets 1.
Guess what, guys? We're probably about to lose the game.
No, we are not.
Yes, we are.
Because now there's a feedback loop. Lagos
Well,
hits
no,
Sao
but you
Paulo.
can't do that.
You can't
so
do that? Okay.
Now we've got to break out. We have to put 1 more cube in Lagos. So that means there's another outbreak there. So I'll move the outbreak marker forward to 2.
And-
But then
you
1
do
goes to
1
cartoon.
here and 1 here.
Oh, whoa,
But
that
we
was
don't
close.
have to go back to Sao Paulo?
No.
No,
Oh,
okay.
good.
So,
Okay, good.
so
Because
that's
then
what
that
before.
would just keep,
Yeah, it
you
just
just
keep going forever,
and that
so.
would be silly.
All right, so
Silly.
we know what
Because
my
none of the rest of this is silly.
yes we know what my mission is now.
Yes.
We've got to get rid of
And
this
we
yellow
might need
quick.
to
You're
slap
going
a few
there,
of those.
right there.
Yes.
Right, yes. Please.
But
All
what we've got to worry about too is this yellow.
That-
here.
Yes. Yeah. So all right.
Right.
All right. So you've infected, right, Aaron?
That was
you
the
did those
infections,
Okay.
yes.
So
Was
Karen,
that mine? I thought it was your turn. Who's
that
was your turn.
That was your turn.
What did I do? No.
That was
Who said
mine?
I believe that was her turn because
Oh,
it was
right.
there.
Oh,
It was
okay.
her
'Cause I just
infection
said
there.
that.
She gave the cards. So it's your turn,
Now it's
Scout.
your turn.
So
Please cure something.
we may have to have a marker to see who the dealer
Well, and
is here.
sometimes
So
it gets kind of
Yeah.
confusing when you've got
Because
games.
it is cooperative.
Well,
Yes.
and some of the games too have a lot more. Not only like they might have 3 things to do, but within those 3 things you can do like 15 different things. So it
Right.
gets really sort of confusing after a while.
now, do you have to be at a research facility to cash those in?
I don't think I do because I am the scientist.
Okay, I just didn't know if you had
I
to
think
or not. so-
normally yes, you do.
Okay.
A normal person.
Okay, a normal
normal
person, but she's Superman.
And I
here,
think
so-
actually you might.
Superwoman.
If do y'all think I should do that just to see? I mean, I don't.
I think we're okay. Like I think
But I mean, I could go
do this,
here
but-
and build a research.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I couldn't because I don't have the card.
Well, the first thing you want to do is cure something, and you've got exactly enough cards to cure it. So I think that needs to be action 1, right?
Okay, so we will. I'm assuming.
just assume
And then
that
we'll
you can
get
do
you
it.
to
so.
Lima,
We'll
and you
assume
can
that
do
the-
other things.
We'll assume that the scientists can do
Viewers,
this.
if you know the answer, then we'll
Write
just
in
say
and let us
write
know.
in and let us know. We'll be, if my brother's watching this, he probably knows the answer to that
we
question.
have
so.
played this game enough where we sort of forget things occasionally, so it's okay. All right, so first
Let's
thing
go
I'm going
for
to
it.
do is discover a cure.
All right.
Do I need
So
to
there we
be
go. I'm
here?
going to move the black
Okay.
disease marker up 1. Now, where am I going?
Okay, so Chennai, Mumbai, Karachi, Delhi, Kolkata. Can you also use your Lima card to go directly to Lima, to fly to Lima, charter a flight, whatever it's called,
Yes.
from the hinterlands?
I don't know. I don't think I can fly from
Okay,
the hinterlands.
but you could from, say, Mumbai, and you could
Yes.
cure something while you're there. Maybe.
Well, she can go either
Mumbai?
Mumbai or Chennai, one of those 2, and then do a direct flight. And so you've done 1 turn. That would be a second turn.
Okay, let me go to. Oh, well, I don't have a. Send me to Chennai.
All right.
Okay.
So that's 2, and then.
And then
Oh,
go ahead. You want
that's
to
down here.
clear Chennai's that one. So do you want to clear
Oh, sorry.
1 out of Chennai?
3 is
All right, 3.
here.
Okay.
All right.
And then 4.
Let's get her to Lima.
Yes. Send me up here.
All right. You're in
All
you're in
right.
Lima.
I am
All
in
right.
Lima. Okay. Now I need to roll.
Let's roll.
Please no yellow or blue. Please no yellow.
All right. That clear has been good for us so far. So all
right.
2 cards. Oh,
1 quiet night. Play anytime, not an action. Skip the next infect city step. Do not flip over any infection cards.
that might be a time to play it immediately.
Oh, in Atlanta. I got Atlanta.
Atlanta.
All
All
right.
right,
Now
so-
notice I've got 3 blues.
And I've got 1.
So, you know, and blue would be good because there's a whole
Well,
bunch of
okay,
mess
so maybe
in blue.
I should be aiming to get to either blue or yellow. I can pick up 2.
Yeah, well, I mean, we
Yeah.
need to clean this
Yeah.
up. I
Yeah.
think that's the more pressing sort of
Yes.
emergency.
Well, and I can do a lot of damage
Quickly.
the yellow quickly with that. So I think that and we'll see what happens in my turn here. But I
Right.
think getting you to the hinterlands, clearing that out, and then making a move
Yeah.
might be the best
Right.
bet for you when we come
Right.
back to you, Karen. So all right, so we're
So is
we
that
do have
4
to
for you?
we have to
That's
infect. So you got your card, so we have to infect
Yeah,
unless
I
you're
got
going to
2
play
cards.
Unless
play
you
that.
wanna
So
play that.
So
unless
do
you
you
want to
think I
play your
should?
1 quiet night.
Well, and I can also do the forecast. 'cause
Here's-
I can
here's-
do this anytime.
Here's the only reason why. Well, the reason why I would say you could do that because
make sure they're
we
not
do
yellow.
not want yellows
Right.
to be the 2 cards that come up.
Okay,
So if we're gonna do
so
that
let's
one,
do that, and then
all
if
right.
it is yellow, I can play the quiet night.
So
All right.
look at 6 cards. So
All right.
1, 2.
Well, I would only turn over 2 anyway, but keep seeing it so that we can see where the
Well, I
yellows
get to
are.
rearrange the top 6
Okay.
cards.
Yeah,
so
she has to rearrange the top 6.
4, 5. Well, so it wouldn't
So
matter
it
so
wouldn't
much
have mattered.
anyway.
So all right, so we're good.
So we've got. We don't want.
Black, it doesn't matter.
Chennai's okay. London's
London's
okay.
okay. Blue?
I think everything on there is
Atlanta,
okay.
Istanbul, Beijing, and Osaka.
All right.
So I'm going to put them at the bottom, but they were already there.
Yeah. So
We're good?
we're good.
So I put
All right,
that back.
So now we'll just draw the 2 cards and do the infection now.
Okay.
So let's see where we're going to infect. London, we'll get 1. And then let's see, Chennai will get 1. All right, so now it's my turn. All right, so the question now is, should I leave Bogota alone and go for the 3 cities? Because I can go 1, 2, 3 and clear those out.
I think that's a really good
Bogota,
idea.
leave Bogota, do
Well,
not
you could
cure
go
Bogota.
1,
That's what, 1,
2,
2,
3, 4.
yeah, 4. So we can
But
do
that
that.
would be very helpful. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would do that.
So we're going to do that. We're going to go.
And you might do
to-
Sao Paulo and Lagos because they're more connected. You know what I mean?
Well, that's true. Well, because here's the thing.
Buenos Aires
Buenos
only has
Aires
2.
only
So
has
go
2 connections.
1,
So
do
yeah.
these 2?
Yeah, let's do those 2. So 1 to Sao Paulo.
2.
We're going to clear that out 2. And then 3. And then 4 to
Okay.
eliminate those. And that does that. So we're, I'm not going to say anything. Like I said, I'm not going to say anything.
Don't forget about
Yes.
the quarantine pouch.
All right, we do have that. But that takes a turn, right? Is that to one of your
Yes.
actions? So, all right. So let's draw my cards. London. All right, so
Okay.
that's 6. So this will be my 7th card here. So let's see. And then Madrid.
London and Madrid.
All right.
So
So
you have 2 blues. So if you could get at some point to blue, because I've got 3 blues.
okay.
I just need 1 more blue.
All right. Well, let's then we're going to go. Let's see what we're going to infect.
Did we roll the die?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
There's nothing. It went to nothing. So Atlanta. Atlanta gets 1, and then let's see, Istanbul, not Constantinople, and then we got 3 on Instantinople. As I just renamed it because of the
Makes it
disease
sound
there.
like
So
Instagram.
yeah. So all right. So that's the end of my turn. But we do have a 3 cube now in Istanbul.
But you're
so,
over there, so look,
Yes.
we could even go.
Yeah, I can make some quick trips around there. So all right. So I'm basically batting cleanup here for
You
us. So
are.
I'm like cleaning
good.
things up. So
And we
All
want to get
right.
the black off too, because
Yes.
that would be very helpful.
All right. So I'm here, so I can obviously do something there.
Okay.
And here's a quick question for the rules. If we once we clear all of these, then no more black gets on the board,
Right.
correct?
If you clear it, then it's called, if you've cured it and cleared all of the cubes of the
Treated or
color,
whatever.
then it's eradicated.
Eradicated.
We're going to flip this over, and then no matter what card we pull over, if it's a black one, then we don't put any more
It's like
cards down.
smallpox, basically.
It's like
All right.
smallpox.
So since I can use a research station to get to any hinterland, do I have? Let's see. I got Bangkok,
You could
Beijing,
go-
and Montreal. I could go directly to Montreal. I'm trying to get to the blue, right?
Well, but if you go to Montreal, then you wouldn't have anything to give me.
No, but if I get to Montreal, I can do one more step to Chicago. Oh, yeah, that would be a problem. Never mind.
You want to go ahead and clear the blacks on Chennai?
That
And
might not be.
where are you?
I'm right here.
Well, I mean, what city
Chennai.
is that?
Oh, no.
That's Mumbai.
Mumbai. And I also have Bangkok and Beijing, just for flights. Okay, so I could do 1, 2, and then move 3, 4, headed that way. Or I could do 1, 2, 3. Now, how quickly do we want to put a stop to that?
I'd say
More
let's
important to get
remove
the yellow?
1 and let's get there, because if we can, that's one less thing we have to worry about. If we can eradicate it, I think we'll be okay.
Yeah.
But one other thing is you might do 2 and 1 and
Right.
get rid of those cubes
Yeah.
there and there.
That might be a good idea. Because even if this goes once, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that.
Not
It's
the end of the
gonna
world
be- yes,
yet.
Yes.
So I do 1, 2, and then 3, 4 actions.
Yes, there we
So
go.
let me give those to you.
All right, so roll.
Roll. Yay.
The cube has been nice to us.
Yes.
Oh, it has.
And I've got
These
Ho
might
Chi
not be.
Minh.
Yes.
So red we have not cured yet, so that's not too bad. And St. Petersburg, well now I could fly to
Okay.
Montreal.
All right.
And now, so Beijing,
Beijing
Not
gets
too
another
bad.
one.
And Osaka, if I recall.
Osaka.
Yep.
And then that's, our psychic abilities are now gone from the deck
Yeah.
at this point. So,
Yeah.
all right, so Scout.
All right. So,
You are
I am
now
over here. Okay, so I could go 1, 2 and get rid of these guys. And then 3, 4 and get rid of that.
Get that.
Or go for, or do, oh, well, yeah, it doesn't
I
have to
can't
there.
get from Lima to
she
Buenos
has to go to
Aires.
Right.
Bogota.
I have to
get
go
there,
to
so
Bogota, and I don't have any yellow.
But you're there.
I
so
will
that's
be there.
fine.
That's going to be, those two will be gone
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
next 2 turns. So,
Unless something horrible.
yes, something horrible happens to
But if we
over here.
both,
So,
if you and I ultimately, if you clean those up and start heading to blue.
Well, and we don't have very many yellow cards at all, do we really? So, okay, so I'm going to go ahead
I
and
have
just,
2 yellows.
if y'all
that's
think
pretty
it's
much it.
okay, I'm going to clean
Let's
up.
clean it.
Yeah.
Okay, so 1, 2,
All right.
3, 4.
Okay.
All right. So that's your turn. So let's roll.
No blue, please, no blue.
Got a red. So, all right.
All right, I'm going to take 2 cards. Don't have long enough arms. I've got 2 yellow
All
cards.
right. So
okay.
we've got yellows and
Lagos
yellows.
and Mexico City. And Aaron, you have yellow cards too.
I do.
So if you can maybe do some of this and then head to the yellow area, I can head to the yellow area on the next time, and you can give me your cards, and we can take care of that.
And
well,
any
then-
of these will
Well,
be
here's something too. I know we've got 2, 3 cities there, but those have, if I remember my history, as long as until we shuffle these back, if that happens, just saying this, if I make my way back to Buenos Aires, I can clear that out, and then from there I can travel to the Hinterlands, correct?
From Sao Paulo.
From Sao Paulo.
Correct.
So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4.
on your next turn. You could go to the.
Right,
Yeah.
but I mean, you can travel to the Hinterlands from any of these.
Oh, okay. So I could go back to.
Little-
So if I make my way back to Kinshasa, then
Yeah, you
then
could
I can do that.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, I mean, even
Is it 1,
4.
2,
1, 2, 3,
3,
4,
4. Yeah.
and then make my way on the next turn to there.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
let's just do that. So I'm going to do that. 1, 2, clear, 3, and then 4. And there we go. So the medic has done his
Aren't
job.
we powerful? Oh,
All
no.
right.
And this is, you know, a lot like
There we go.
you get relief in one area,
Yep. And then something pops
reduce
up
the
somewhere
pressure,
else.
and then all of a sudden you get that. So
All
there's
right.
that. That doesn't look good.
So play immediately when drawn. Move the infection rate marker forward 1 space. So we're still in 2.
This one too.
So we're still in 2 for right now.
Does,
All right.
does that one here, let me see, does that one that has to stay, or can it go?
If not,
Yeah, this is
the-
one of the
yeah,
emergency events.
so-
It's a sanitary breakdown,
Yeah.
so we had to move the infection, just like we had.
Just
they
one,
had
so.
an epidemic. Don't be an epidemic!
Oh, epidemic.
I think the
Aaron.
pressure's
Yeah.
off.
So
And
all right.
then
So now
By
we've got
increase.
3
Oh,
cards.
no.
So you shuffled those 2 cards together, by the way.
Yeah,
Just
nice,
I'll let you
going
know.
there.
So
Well,
when you put them
Draw
together, so.
bottom card from the infection deck.
All right.
Put
So
3
bottom card
cubes.
comes up. Milan.
Well, that's new at least.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
3 cubes.
3 cubes go to Milan.
Discard.
All right, and that goes to the
Discard pile.
discard
and
pile.
Then shuffle.
and then shuffle.
Now we're. Yeah.
All right, so we're going to shuffle these bad boys
And now
up.
3 of them.
All right, so shuffled them up, and now we got 3 cards. So we're going to go 1, Johannesburg. That's where I'm at now. And then let's see, 2, Khartoum. Just
Oh, thank
right
goodness.
when I clean
Clean
things
it
up.
well, but it could be worse.
And then Buenos Aires.
Oh, no, it's an outbreak.
Okay.
And we have an outbreak. So move the outbreak meter up. Oh, yeah, sorry.
But at
There we go.
least it's.
Now we
more
just have-
limited.
Okay, so 1 and
And
then
2.
here, and that's it.
That's it. So leaving Buenos Aires alone may have been beneficial because it only affects 2
you
cities on the
roll?
breaks. Yes, I
Yeah,
rolled.
you
I got
did.
nothing
You
on
got
there.
nothing
So,
on the roll.
all right. So,
Good. My turn. Oy.
yep, there we go.
Okay, so I can go. We don't need any of these. All right, so I need to get. Let's see, we need to get that either quarantined or pick some up, and we need to go down there. And ultimately, I'm trying to get to. I can help
We got
here. Red, we can't really
Red,
do
well,
much
we can
about.
if we work
We get
together,
one
we can
more.
get red to her.
Right.
So if
we
we
need to
find
get
ourselves
red
in the
there.
hinterlands, we can start
Right.
throwing stuff at her and she can cure. So
Try to get to blue.
And blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, blue is going to be more. Okay. So I can go, any of these new blue? I could go from here to here, and that would get me to London.
London.
Is London? No, that's black. I'm looking at black. Sorry. From black, it doesn't really help.
Now, what is your power with the Hinterlands and moving?
In the Hinterlands, I can go from any research station to any Hinterlands.
Okay.
Okay.
And then in the Hinterlands, I can take 2 cubes of an uncured disease when I
Okay.
treat instead of just 1. We also really do need some research stations. Would it be
Yes.
worthwhile to just plant one right here?
Maybe so.
Or in Bangkok? I mean, I can.
Well,
fly
you have to have the
Bangkok or whatever.
card, though.
I have Bangkok.
She has
Okay,
Bangkok,
good.
so
Let's
she
do
could
it.
do
Or Bangkok or
Bangkok.
Ho Chi Minh. Bangkok's very central.
Yes, I think
All
because
right.
it's connected to like
So it's
5 cities
1,
there. So
and then build would be
build
2.
a research station in Bangkok.
And
So
then
discard
do I
that
discard?
card.
Discard
Okay.
it.
And then 3 and 4. And from a research station, I can go to any Hinterlands. Ooh, I didn't mean to do that, but
Yeah,
there we
but
go.
there you go. So
And then I can take 2 as my
Yes.
next action. That's 3,
Good,
and then
thank
4,
goodness.
and then
All
there we
right.
go. Okay.
So we're
so you're-
good. Roll.
Oh.
Sadly, it's like we're.
Pretty well on
Yes,
this. Oh,
we
no.
are. All right.
All right,
monkey.
yellow now has 3.
Yellow
Monkey
is
has
in
3.
trouble.
Yellow is really in
I've got
trouble.
Istanbul.
Istanbul.
And emergency event. Time runs out. Play immediately when drawn. We need background music for this. Draw a player card. Are these player cards?
Yes.
Yes.
On future turns, players draw 3, not 2 player cards.
This increases the chances of getting an epidemic card.
and that has to
Alright.
stay there until the
Till the
next,
next
emergency
yes.
event.
So you-
Oh, good. This is another play at any time. Airlift. Move any 1 pawn to any city. Get permission before moving another player's pawn.
do not kidnap
Do
someone.
not kidnap people. But at any time, I can transplant somebody anywhere.
So you could move
At any
me. You
time.
could move me to Istanbul.
Yes.
And I think you need 1 more card, right, Karen? Because that was your.
Yeah.
That was 2.
You need 3, I think.
Yes.
Oh,
Because now you draw 3 cards.
Oh no.
Epidemic. So
All right,
move
scooch
from
the infection
marker.
rate
All right.
forward.
Back to 3. Up to 3. And so
Infect, draw bottom card.
draw bottom
We're getting
card.
good at this bottom card.
All right. So Bangkok.
Bangkok discard, and then, so put 3 on Bangkok.
1, 2, 3.
And then intensify. So shuffle and
Oh
intensify.
no.
But luckily,
and
there's
this-
only 4 cards in this one, so,
So
we're.
yeah, so Bangkok could be the next
Still,
one.
I bet it's going to be Buenos Aires again.
Yes.
But
All
we're
right.
going to have to pick 3 now.
Yes.
Okay, so, but anyone ever pick 3?
No. Just
No,
3
yeah,
for
three,
that infection
three.
rate. Sorry.
Oh, so
Oh, yeah,
right
so-
now I get to do
Yes.
all 3 of those
Yes.
4. Lovely.
3.
Buenos Aires.
Buenos
I
Aires.
told you another outbreak. There's
So another outbreak.
I
so,
told you so.
So we get Bogota and
and
Sao Paulo.
which is not as bad as far
Yes.
as outbreaks
Johannesburg.
Johannesburg gets 1.
And
go. Bangkok. Oh no,
So,
another outbreak.
so we have an outbreak. So move the outbreak up.
We're
let's
getting
see.
close to the end.
All right. So
All
we
right,
get
so
Hong Kong, Ho Chi Minh City, Jakarta,
Is there anything else there? And Kolkata.
Kolkata, and then
No, just
Chennai. That's
Oh,
connected
it
to Chennai.
is. Oh,
So,
dang.
so that may have been one of the worst ones we could have hit. So
Yes.
now red is suddenly started
Yes.
burning things up. So
Excellent.
All right, Karen, are you done?
she's done.
Okay.
That's all the damage I can do this
Yes.
time.
So, do we want me here, and then wait for Aaron could then give me, because he could move up here, and then he could give me
Right.
those cards.
Yes.
I mean, or do you want to go treat some?
Well, I could come 1, 2, 1, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4.
You could also do 1, take 1, 2. Okay,
And then
1,
4, that'd be
2,
4.
3, and then 4. And then if we got another
But then I
Buenos
couldn't
Aires.
take one of here, and this is kind of
Yeah,
dangerous.
that's a little dangerous
you're
there.
right,
So,
you're right, you're right.
so I would do the first bit.
Yeah,
So let's
yeah,
go
yeah.
So I would do 1, 2,
2.
3,
Three.
come to the Hinterlands, 4,
4.
take a monkey disease.
All right. So we've taken a monkey disease. All right. So now
Roll.
Oh,
roll.
sorry. You know, we're not talking very much about history right now.
We're
No,
not. We're not.
this is
We're getting so intense on
We're
this.
so
thing.
engrossed. Yay, another blank roll on the die.
All right. So now 3 cards.
You want to do these?
Yeah, I can't reach them all.
All right. Milan.
Milan.
Oh,
All right.
yes. I can do
And
the blues.
Santiago. And
Excellent.
then now. Oh, what is this?
Okay, emergency event, disease. At least we can replace this one.
Yes.
We're going to put him in the discard pile. All right. Emergency event, disease hotspot. Play immediately when drawn. Draw 1 card from the infection deck, bottom.
Bottom. All right.
If bottom, it's all red. If this disease is not eradicated, add 3 cubes to the color of its city. So it's
Santiago
a yellow. Oh dear God. Let's see.
Santiago is
is
blank.
by itself,
All right.
all
Oh,
by
yay,
itself
okay.
over
And
there.
she's
so.
almost ready to cure.
Discard the infection card to the infection discard pile, and then this can just go on the infection
All
discard.
right.
So that's one, and now I just need 2 more. Right?
I gave you. Did I give
But
you?
okay,
Yeah,
you gave
that's
me
your
all
third
3.
card, so
That's
you're-
my all
And we
3.
now we
you're-
do this. 3 of these.
Hold on a second. Is that count towards your card
Oh.
total?
Yes.
Oh, discard something.
It
So
does.
I'm going to leave these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need to get rid of 2. I don't want to get rid
No,
of
7.
2.
Isn't it 7 the card? 7.
Oh yes,
So you only
1,
need
2,
1.
3, 4, 5,
Yeah,
6,
just one.
7. So I just need to get rid of 1.
Get rid of yellow because you need 4, and if I give you my yellows, it's not.
Well,
we
yeah,
can
but
cure
that's
it.
2 turns.
I'm in the blue, and I've got.
Okay.
I'm going to get
blue.
rid of Atlanta.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So discard Atlanta.
Discard that, and now
All right.
3 infections.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Khartoum.
Khartoum.
Essen.
Essen.
Oh. Lima.
Lima. We're slowly running out of time here for the show and for what we're doing here. So we're going to see how
leaving the
far we
world
can
in
get. All right, so
limbo.
it's my turn. Yeah, we're going to leave the world in limbo.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, so-
it does not look good.
It doesn't.
All right, so but we're going to. All right, my turn. So let me make this quick. So all right, let's go. So I need to get to you. So I should clear out. Should I clear out or just get to you as soon as possible? So
Get to me as soon as you can.
all right. So let's do. So if I go
Just 1 to
just
there.
1 to there,
And then 2.
and then 2 to
Well,
you.
why don't you?
Oh,
Oh,
clear.
you've got to go. No, you've got to
But
go.
because I got to get you
But,
cards.
but he
so-
only has to give you 1.
right.
Oh, that's
To
true.
cure. So you can
So I
clear
can
that.
clear one of those.
No.
You can get both of them.
I'll
Oh
do
yeah,
it.
that's right. I can get
Yeah,
all of them.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
right. I forget my superpower.
You forget who you are.
All right,
And
there,
just give her
and
one.
then I'm going to give you. Actually, I'm going to give you Los Angeles because
Not much
Kinshasa.
happening there
I
either.
might need to use that to get somewhere. So,
Okay.
all right. So here we go. All right. So I got to roll. This could be the last roll, sadly. So, but after the show, after we through taping, I think we're going to finish this game. And I want to know. The viewers may not know what happened, but we'll see what happens.
Oh,
So
that's a third key.
that's the
I
third
read.
red. So there we
Alright.
go. All right. So now I'm going to draw my cards here. 2
Just
cards.
2.
So Taipei, and I've got to do a discard sometime here because I am not. All right. So resilient population. Remove any 1 card from the infection discard pile from the game. You may play this between the infect and intensify steps of an epidemic.
Okay, so just wait until we have an
Yeah.
epidemic.
Wait till we have that. So, all right. So and then let's do 3
You
of
have
these.
You have 8 cards.
Oh, I do have 8 cards, so I have to discard. Probably what my best bet is probably a blue because I'm not going to help. It's not going to
Well,
help me
we've
to have
gotten rid
blue.
of black though too. So.
Okay, well then I'll get rid of Baghdad. So, all right, I'll discard Baghdad to get my cards in place. All right, and let's do with this last rotation. Let's roll this.
Oh, we did that. We had it
Oh,
here.
oh, we did that already. I did that
So
already.
you
So
picked
to do this, so
picked
3. I
those,
picked
right?
those, so
So
3.
now- oh,
So
wow.
Sao Paulo. Sao Paulo gets
Oh,
1.
one more. It's okay.
All right, then 2. Atlanta gets 1.
Poor Atlanta.
And then let's see, London gets 1, so relatively safe on that
Relatively all
front.
right.
And then that's pretty much going to wrap up our televised version of this game here. We hate to leave you guys hanging on the fate of the world, but it goes to show a little bit before we wrap up about how, one, just as someone that's a history lesson here, how quickly these things can spread
Right.
and cause some chaos. And in
Right.
your class, for just briefly, how does this relate in your class? How do you end up
Well,
doing
I
this?
mean, again, one of the things that we kind of talk about is how interconnected the world has been. Through travel, we also talk about the development of the internet, you know, how connected everybody is in that way. We talk about how, you know, the United States has become such a big importer nation, which is good in many ways, but it's also, if our economy starts going a little south, it can affect the entire globe, like we saw in the early part of the 2000s with the housing crisis and
yes.
stuff. You know, so, and then, you know, that started here, but then rippled out. We certainly talk about environmental issues too, not only disease, but also how now that is a very global concern. You know, if we're doing something here in the United States, that can have effects over the entire planet. So.
Well, we've definitely learned a lot about this game. It's been a fun game. Like I said, we are going to wrap this up off camera, and then when we post it online, I'll make sure to let you guys know if we save the world or not. Well, thank you for joining us for this edition of History Through Games. If you're interested in taking the class, look it up. Scout teaches the class
In the fall.
In the fall. So thanks for joining us.